acrobatic moves we see at all levels. Good timing. Absolutely superb. And amazing flexibility, great balance. Incredible right at the end there. Lovely pictures of slow motion here. Hello and welcome to the afternoon session on the second day of the World Cup for Artistic Swimming. This World Cup, the second of the season, is taking place in Montpellier before some of these athletes travel to Egypt for the third World Cup and then to Spain for the big grand final. So this afternoon we are going to be looking at the duet free program for women. Quite a large field, a total of 23 duets taking part, always a popular choice because obviously the duets are part of the Olympic program and the work starts now building up to that to make sure that they qualify. So these routines will last 2 minutes 45 seconds each. Within that there are 9 free hybrids, which includes 2 acrobatic movements, acrobatic pair movements, and 7 free hybrids. Lisa Schott, the TASC chairperson, and referee Marie Cavaglioglu, doing a fabulous job, both of them here in Montpellier. So 7 free hybrids, so no technical required elements at all. If you were watching earlier, you would have seen some of the routines having technical elements. We don't have those in the free program at all. The judges, there's 2 panels, and they are looking at the elements. So those free hybrids I talked about and the acro pairs. And then we have a panel also looking at the artistic impression. And that includes the transitions, the presentation, the choreography, and the musicality. In addition, we will have technical controllers. Some of the technical controllers will be double checking the coach's card to make sure that it's exactly as per the assigned degree difficulty from the coach's card. But because it's a duet, synchronization very much comes into this, and the synchronization technical controllers will be looking and checking for small, obvious and major errors. As we get a chance to look at the lineup for the judges, these are the artistic impression. These are the synchronization technical controllers I was just talking about. So the elements judges, they will give a total of 9 scores. Each of the free hybrids are multiplied then by the degree difficulty to get a final score. The highest and the lowest of the scores is deducted. So it's only 3 scores that go through to count. They would then deduct any synchronization errors and any penalties. Hopefully there won't be any as we get to look at the start list. Japan leading the way. If for any reason it's deemed that the coach's card wasn't done correctly, if they've missed out some of the movements, not executed them properly, then the score will drop to a base mark for that particular free hybrid. And the base mark is calculated on the time that they spend underneath the water and the number of movements that they do within that. So the maximum that you can actually get on a free hybrid base mark is 0.5. So that's difficulty, and that makes a massive, massive difference to the overall score. So none of these athletes want to get a base mark today, but they also have to push the difficulty. So it's a very, very fine line.
Introducing duet number 1, Mashiro Yasunaga and Moe Tiga from Japan.
And so we are ready to start. Mashiro Yasunaga, Mohiga, the 15-year-old from Japan, leading the way. 20 seconds they're allowed to set up before they swim their routine, 2 minutes 45 long, to their Black Panther theme. They say, look for the sharp actions of a panther's leg. Straight into a very difficult hybrid, difficulty of 6.65. Some good unbalanced moves in the rotations. Very complex angles. Some very intricate moves. They move into the first acro move. So fast, great timing. And the second acro move, a jump with a back flip. Flexibility level 6 out of 6. Beautiful. Bonuses for the complex angles in that hybrid. Slightly different timing on the thrust level 9, the highest level, because they stopped above the knees. Again, very slightly different on the synchronization. Wow, absolutely exhausted at the end of that performance. What a way to start the women's duet final here in Montpellier for the World Cup. Tremendous performance from the Japanese pair. Just a few small synchronization errors coming into it at times, but it's early in the year, and it's a great opportunity for all of these duets to swim in front of the judges and the crowds again. So on the synchronization, if they do a small error, that's just a 0.1 deduction. If it's obvious, it's 0.5, and if it's major, it will be a 3. But if it's just slightly different, remember it's just a 0.1, and that is deducted from the element score as we look at a lot of complex angles. Mohiga the 15-year-old, is the junior and youth world champion. And together they won the silver medal yesterday in the technical programme. Finished fourth at the first World Cup. Their score there was 276.6208. So that's the score they'll be looking to beat today. Wow, massive improvement, 334.0125. 29.40 on difficulty. What a way to start. That is going to be incredibly difficult to beat.
Introducing duet number 2, Isabel Thorpe and Kate Shortman from Great Britain.
As we move now to the duet from Great Britain, Kate Shortman, Isabel Thorpe finished 6th in the technical programme yesterday. And this is their interpretation of the Rising Phoenix, reborn from fire, which I think is a great metaphor for the rebirth of artistic swimming with the new rules. Beautiful interpretation with the Phoenix arms. And straight into an acro lift with a rotation. .6 difficulty, this hybrid. Complex angles and travel. Bonus elements. Good timing. Excellent levels on the height, stopping above the knees. High degree of 9. And their second acro move, getting very high out of the water. Sustained height. So much pool coverage and beautiful interpretation with the arms. Really good hold after the thrust. Really going for difficulty here. And on the flexibility as well, that lift. Keep the timing. Wow, so many unbalanced moves there right at the end. Degree difficulty of 5.7 for that last hybrid. So they get bonuses for having such a difficult hybrid in the last 20 seconds of the routine. They also get bonuses for travel and having complex angles as well. So really going all out here on the difficulty of the routine. And it was very well swum as well. A few small timing errors which will show up on the synchronization errors, but overall a very strong performance indeed. A creative routine It was choreographed by Anastasia Davidova. She came up with the theme, which they really liked the idea of, hoping very much to qualify for the Olympics next year as we get to see some of the highlights. Look at that. Incredible. Coached here by Yumiko Tomomatsu and Karen Thorpe, mother of Isabel. They have fantastic facilities for training down in Bristol at the Hengrove Leisure Centre. I went down there to join them recently and thoroughly enjoyed watching all the hard work that goes on in their training. Just a slight difference there on the timing. But they go so well together. They swam together since they were age 10. Their mums used to swim together. It's a lovely story. And they are so good at motivating and inspiring younger swimmers as well. They put a lot of time into that. 7th in Europe at the moment, 11th in the world, 14th at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. But I hadn't seen them swim for a little while when I went down to see them recently, and I was very impressed with the way they're working and with their improvement. Wow, 324.3958, difficulty of 31.50. That is huge. Absolutely brilliant result there for the duet from Great Britain.
J'appelle le duo numéro 3 représentant la Belgique. Introducing duet number 3, America Thor and Samo Kaketsis from Belgium.
And now we move on to two 18-year-olds, Samo Kaketsis and Amélie Couture from Belgium. A little less experienced than some of the others here, but looking very confident as they walk up and prepare for their routine. The theme is hope and evergreen, a nice mix of peace and strength. Starting straight away to acrobatic moves. Keeping the difficulty of the routine down so they can focus on the execution. Good timing. Slightly off the alignment on the vertical leg. Elements judges take height very much into consideration. There's very strict guidelines on height to get the maximum score. 2 legs out of the water, you must be at least mid-thigh, but that comes with experience. Good musicality. And travelling nicely around the pool to help with the artistic impression. and having connection in the last hybrid as well, connection level 2. It's so good these days that artistic swimming has got assigned degree difficulty. It's the first year that we've had that. It's bringing us more in line with sports like gymnastics and figure skating. And it was absolutely necessary because it was so hard to tell the difference in difficulty for the judges just to watch a routine and know which one is more difficult was extremely hard in the past. So that's why they've changed it, and that's why there is a assigned degree difficulty for every single move in the hybrids. But then to keep the artistry, they need to get plenty of variation. They need to look at the choreography, the musicality, the transitions between the hybrids, and obviously the overall performance. Scores now in 0.25 increments instead of 0.1, how it used to be. Nice lift there. And a really high onto the throw. They have got a technical review, as you may have just heard. And that means that they are looking at the hybrids, that maybe something wasn't exactly the same as the coach's card, in which case they will be reduced to the base mark for that hybrid. Let's hope not. But always tense times for the athletes when they're standing there with their coaches. The choreography was by Zoe Vutraki. They always like it, they say, when she comes to stay in Belgium, because they have so much fun with her as well doing the choreography. And Lawrence Lambremont very much helping with all of the coaching as well. It's the second year with the routine. They've adapted it a lot. Second in their national championships. But just 2 routines swam so far. Japan lying first, amazing score, 334.0125, and actually quite close behind Great Britain, 324.3958. Execution scores were very similar, 241.76 for Japan, 238.49 Great Britain. Great Britain had the higher difficulty at 31.5 over 29.4 for Japan. Artistic impression, 92.25 Japan, 85.90 for Great Britain. But it's a change of mindset at the moment for the way the coaches go about choreographing routines, because it's whether they look at difficulty first or whether they look at artistic. I think in the past artistic would have come first. I think that's changed around, and difficulty has so much impact that that's what comes first. So apologies for the delay while they do a review of these scores. Hopefully it won't take long, and we'll be able to bring you the result very soon before we move on to the next duet. Patiently waiting behind the scenes, keeping focused. You can see on the left hand side of the screen there's still some coaching going on. It's worked well having this 15-metre pool split into 2, half for the competition, half for the training. And degree difficulty, yes, reduced 9.95. Third place at the moment, 126.2250.
J'appelle le duo numéro 4 représentant l'Ouzbékistan. Introducing duet number 4, Ziyodakon Toshkuyeva and Diana Ankes from Uzbekistan.
The duet from Uzbekistan, forced to swim, Diana Onkes and Ziyodakon Toshkuyeva from Uzbekistan, 28 and 18 years of age. They like the constant increasing tempo of this music. Good originality. Very difficult hybrid at 5.65. Musicality, spot on with the timing. Change of direction on the rotations, all helps with difficulty. Airborne weight above the knees. That was at level 6. Certainly fitting in a huge number of rotations. I'd like to see it a little bit higher. And synchronization errors there just at the end, which was a shame. Keep the vertical line and stay close together. I think they've really challenged themselves on some of this, and that is a major error at the end. What a shame. Such a shame. But I could see that in that last length they were starting to get very, very tired. And that is the risk you take when you put so much difficulty towards the end of the program. But I'm really disappointed for them because 2 minutes 35 seconds of that was looking pretty good. Just the last 10 seconds let them down on the synchronization. So they will get deductions in the element score because of that. But it started really strong. I like this movement. They love something to the music because it's so bright and rhythmic, and they can do some good transition work to it. They competed at the World Championships last year, finishing 10th, which was history really for Uzbekistan, because in the old scoring system it was the first time that Uzbekistan, a duet from there, had scored 81. came sixth at the first World Cup of the season this year in Canada. Their score then 237.9791. They did have deductions for the synchronization of 4.8 on that occasion, and sadly I think there are going to be some more deductions today within the score. It's hidden within the score, so we won't be able to see it today, I don't think.
The technical review, we kindly ask you to wait for the source.
Yep, another technical review, and certainly they will need to decide whether that was an obvious error at 0.5 or a major error at 3 points deduction. In my mind, that was a major, but I am not trained as a technical controller, but it was pretty major right at the end of the routine, which is a real shame. When it comes to the synchronization with the music is actually included within the artistic impression score. The actual synchronization with each other is what the technical controllers are looking at. When movements are very fast, as they sometimes are in this sport, if there's unequal actions, you only count one unequal action in every 0.5 seconds, because that is how quick actually the technical controllers will be able to notice the difference. So if there's more than one synchronization error in a 0.5 time frame, it only counts as one. When it comes to the spins, every 180 turn counts as a unequal action. So there could be 4 in a 2 rotation swim. For every 180 they do, if they're out of synchronization, then they could have 4 unequal actions for that spin, depending on the time of it, obviously, how quick it is. The controllers looking at synchronization have normally green, red and orange buttons. Red being a major error for 3 points, so they would press that. Green for a small and orange for an obvious one. But at least 2 of the controllers must synchronize in the reaction time, so much going on here. If it's deemed to be a major synchronization error, then they would probably call the referee to have a look at that. It was brought in so that the judges can really focus on the execution and the artistry and not worry too much about the timing of the athletes with each other. Synchronization obviously looks at the timing, but it also looks at the shape of the movement. Are the angles exactly the same, or are they slightly different, as an example? So it puts in third place 183.1375.
J'appelle le duo numéro 5 représentant le Canada. Introducing duet number 5, Johnny Newman and Kenzie Priddle from Canada.
The duet from Canada, Johnny Newman, 17 years of age, Kenzie Priddle, 25. This is their routine, the Battle of the Titans.
Du groupe Audio Machine.
apologies for the loss of picture. We weren't able to show you the Canadian free duet. Looks like some analysis being done. Such a shame that we couldn't see the Battle of the Titans, which was their theme. They swam a technical routine in the World Cup in Canada, in the home country, a few weeks ago, where they finished fourth. Coached by Claudia Holzner, herself an Olympian, came fifth in the Olympic Games in Tokyo with Jacqueline Simoneau, and also coached by Gabor Zauder. It's actually the same music, not that we heard it, so my apologies for that, but it was the same music and choreography. Sorry, not as choreography, obviously it's new choreography because of the new rules, but it was the same music that Claudia and Jacqueline used in the Olympic Games.
Score for elements 72.475.
And that puts them in fourth place with a score of 156.8250. Degree difficulty low at 11.20, so it must have been reduced from to a base mark.
Introducing duet number 6, Eden Betcher and Shelly Bobitsky from Israel.
So this duet from Israel was supposed to be Shelly Bobritsky and Ariel Nasseh. Unfortunately, she is ill. Eden Blecher used to do the duet with Shelly Bobritsky, and they really wanted to swim here to get some points for the super final. So Eden has had to very, very quickly step up to the mark and put her suit on. It's new choreography, even though the routine is the theme of New World that they did previously. So well done for her for stepping up. Let's see how this goes. Really nice on the thrust level 9 at the maximum. Pretty good timing, considering they haven't really practiced together for such a long time. And a repeat of the acrobatic movement. Same degree difficulty for that one, for both of them, which is 2. Complex angles. Very impressed with this performance so far, against the odds. Such good travel around the pool as well. To the final free hybrid. Wow. Well, what a story. When Shelley was swimming with Ariel, they took a gold at the last World Cup. The third in the actual free program. So picked up a couple of medals there. But now, Eden Blecher having to step up and swim at very short notice indeed, because they didn't want to withdraw and lose the points for the super final. They are very used to swimming together. They did for a number of years. Finished 15th in the Olympic Games, 10th at the World Championships. But it's very, very difficult when the routine has changed considerably since you last swam it. And I thought they did a brilliant job. I don't think many could actually get in the pool and swim a duet that they haven't swum for a very long time. At pretty short notice, just a few days' notice.
Ce duo est entraîné et chorégraphié par Svetlana Blecher et Anna Tares.
Yep, choreographed by Anna Tares and coached by her and Svetlana Blecher, the mother of Eden. So Ariel and Shelley scored 281 at the last, and that puts them in third place, 293.0209. So that's even higher than they scored at the World Cup in Canada, and puts them just behind the duet from Great Britain and Japan.
And Sara Lucea from Italy.
And next, the young duet from Italy, 15-year-old Sara Maria Rizia and 16-year-old Flaminia Venite. Their theme is the strength of women. Their aim is to improve their height and their synchronization compared to the first World Cup. Second in the European Youth Championships. Some nice transitions, making full use of this pool. 25 meters wide, so not easy. Very slight timing issue there. Good timing, good height. Needed to be a little bit higher though on the two legs there. Need to keep the strength and the focus right to the very end. like a lot of these duets, quite repetitive when it comes to the rotations and then slapping the legs down. But for a young duet, really nicely swum. The degree difficulty on most of the free hybrids were around about 4, so very consistent. They didn't have a couple of very difficult ones and then make it a lot easier for themselves. They stayed around about the 4 mark on a good proportion of their free hybrids. So the first World Cup, their score was 272.5208. They did have deductions on synchronization at that event, so hopefully they have been working on that. Their difficulty was 27 then, so it'll be interesting to compare with today. But so much talent coming up through the ranks in Italy, and great to see them being given the opportunity to swim in some of these senior World Cups. I'm sure that will help them massively for the future. So, as I said, they are working on their height, and they will continue to work on that as they build experience and strength. Just need to watch a little bit of the timing, just small 0.1 errors coming into it there.
So for elements, 222.6083.
And a score of 301.8583. Degree difficulty 29.30. Very high degree difficulty, putting them in 3rd place at the moment. Wow, that was because of the difficulty in all of those rotations, and that's why a lot of the duets include them. Massive improvement on their last score of 272.5. And now the duet from the Netherlands, Brechtje de Brouwer, Marloes Steenbeek. The theme of this routine is werewolves. Music created for this duet by Alexis Maldinet, because they enjoy terror themes. Complete contrast to their disco theme in the technical routine. Very fast on the rotations. It's high risk. Complex angles already. Wow, the speed of movement is incredible. Wonderful musicality. Different though on that figure. Will be a few small deductions. Going for a lift valued at 1.2. connected action. Good variety in these hybrids. Oh, synchronization errors just in that last hybrid. The movements are so incredibly fast. I love the music. I love the depiction of werewolves. A very strong routine indeed. But a couple of the hybrids did have synchronization errors in them. What really stood out for me was the speed of movement, especially in those rotations. Their choreographer, Olga Filipchuk, along with Esther Jaume, came up with the theme and the idea, and then Alexis Maldinet put the music together and brought it all to life and did a fantastic job on that. They were 7th in the World Championships last year and 5th in the European Championships. Rachia used to swim with her sister, her twin sister, Norji, and they finished 9th in the Olympic Games together. Marlouche is a junior, still only 18 years of age. Really good timing there. And some difficult moves to synchronize, trying to get the originality into it. And that puts them into 5th place, 292.6376.
J'appelle le duo numéro 9 de la République tchèque. Introducing duet number 9, Karolina Kusova and Aneta Mrazova from Czech Republic.
Republic, Karolina Klashkova and Aneta Mrazkova, 12th in the technical event. This is their routine of Wakanda Forever. They like the history and the story behind the movie of Black Panther. It finds them strength. Difficult hybrid of 6.2, but very repetitive on the rotations and bringing the legs down between rotations. The artistic impression judges are looking for really good variation in move. Need to be careful on the timing. Keeping the shoulders nice and steady with 2 arms out of the water. difficult to see, but I think there are a few errors on that figure. And again here, just leaves a bit of doubt in my mind. I might be wrong. Well, they certainly crammed it full of rotations, with the legs coming down after each rotation. Personally, for me, I did find it a little bit repetitive. All of the hybrids looked fairly similar, and I would have liked to have seen a little bit more variation in that. But what they did, overall, they did well. They had some good travel in the hybrids. But definitely would love to see a bit more variation for the artistic side and the musicality. But that was executed really nicely. Their goal is to qualify for the Olympics next year. They did make finals at the European Championships last year, finishing 12th and currently ranked 19th in the world.
Ces nageuses sont entraînées par Alexandra Yermakova, Libus Sitkova et Sona Bernakova.
Yeah, you can really see the synchronization errors there. Such a shame after all the hard work. But after every performance, however you swam it, you learn from it and you move on and you start thinking about the next competition. I'm not sure if they're going to the World Cup in Egypt next weekend. Certainly a very busy schedule for these athletes leading up to the super final in June, which will take place in Spain. But it's been great, the first two World Cups, because it's given everybody some insight into the new rules and how it's going to pan out. And I think some of the routines have literally taken the difficulty, looked at the rotations because that's the highest risk, so they have high difficulty on it and put in rotations after rotations after rotations. But now they need to start looking at the choreography, the musicality, and the variation within that. And it's not just this duet; it's many of the duets that we've seen so far. 261.7025. That's sixth place for the Czech Republic. You can see the degree difficulty 27.9 is high because of all of those rotations.
Introducing duet number 10, Laila Maxer and Noemi Buchel from Liechtenstein.
As we move to the 10th duet, 23 swimming in this all together. This is the duet from Liechtenstein, Noemi Buchel and Laila Olivia Maxer. The duet is to Japanese calendar. Listen for the sound of animals. It's the same music that Liechtenstein, not this pair, but Liechtenstein swam at the Olympic Games. And it's highly relevant as well for the forthcoming World Championships in Fukuoka. Just some small timing errors coming into it, but packed full of content. Lots of angles. Musicality is good, just slight errors on the timing. Good connection into it very quickly. To tell if they've done some of those rotations. I love the choice of music, and they certainly had the musicality to go with it. There were quite a few errors. I think don't think I'd like to be a technical controller looking at the difficulty, because sometimes you look at spins and you think, did they do the full rotation, or were they slightly under rotated, in which case you can't count it. It's such a hard job, and you want to be fair to the athletes. So if it's a borderline, it would go in the athlete's favour, but if they haven't finished the 180 rotations, then it would go to base marks. They swim really well together. The coach asked them to choose an animal from the music that they could relate to, and Lila, well, she chose a snake because it's similar to her solo, and Naomi chose the tiger. Naomi came 11th in the Junior World Championships in the duet with another partner, actually, Nadina Klauser. But really good to see them here in Montpellier, coached and choreographed by Chiara Carmignato, and helped on the choreography with Francesca Zampieri and Olga Filipchuk. So currently lying in first place is Japan with 334.10125. Second from Great Britain, 324.3958. And third from Italy, the youngsters, 301.8583. As we await the scores for Liechtenstein. So total score, degree difficulty reduced to 15.4, 8th place, 177. As you may have heard, 0.2917 for the duet from Liechtenstein.
Introducing duet number 11, Melissa Ceballos Correa and Stefania Roabernal from Colombia.
Duet from Colombia, 11th to swim, Melissa Ceballos Correa, Estefania Roa Bernal, both 23 years of age. They've chosen the flight of the hummingbird. Colombia is a country with a great diversity in birds, and they really wanted to show that off. Second hybrid will be maximum number of moves and time underwater with travel and complex angles. Lovely timing. Nice presentation, just a few timing issues coming into it. I love the musicality of that section. Some good transitions, travelling well. And a nice ending there, strong ending. Plenty of angles within that performance, along with the rotations. Finished 22nd at the World Championships last year. They are the national and Bolivarian champions. Beautiful costumes. They really show up underneath the water beautifully, don't they? Coached and choreographed by Ashara Minera Palgarin. Assisted in the choreography by Kaznia Sidorenko. Just occasionally different emphasis on some of these movements, but good height, a nice presentation. Very good body line. Arms synchronized under the water as well as the sculling action. Different levels as they came up on the leg there. water level should be exactly the same on both of their legs.
123.4168.
And the score for Colombia,
198.9168.
7th place at the moment, 198.9168. So we're now just over halfway through the competition as we await the duet from Ukraine. This is the twins, Marina Alexieva, Vladislava Alexieva, 21 years of age. Very disappointing day for them yesterday in the technical event, finishing 19th. They will absolutely want to make up for it. They're currently ranked silver medalist in the world, so second in the world, and they are the European champions. This will be very high degree difficulty. This first hybrid, a value of 7.35. Getting bonuses for travel as well. Wonderful choreography. I would have liked to have seen that just a little bit higher. Now there'll be lots of rotations, level 7 out of 9. Level 7 out of 9 maximum. Timing coming into it. Well, a very difficult routine. It was well performed. We will have to wait and see whether the technical controllers think it was exactly as per the coach's card, because they are the experts on that. A lot of the routine, the synchronization was fabulous. A few errors starting to come into it though, particularly towards the end. They finished in the silver medal position at the first World Cup earlier in 2023, just a few weeks ago. 291.6916 was their score on that occasion, with a few deductions for synchronization, but a difficulty of 24.65. So it'd be very interesting to compare and see whether those scores have moved forward. So they were very disappointed in the technical program because they dropped on difficulty. but with all of these hybrids, it's got to be done correctly, otherwise it doesn't count for the score. They have such wonderful extension in the legs and feet, and their body alignment is really, really strong. That timing was really good, just slightly dropped a little bit at the end on the level. Coached by Svetlana Sedeva, Alicia Zaitseva, and that is good enough. Yes, the degree difficulty has been confirmed at 35.25, a score of 370.2791. Well, hopefully that has made up somewhat for what happened yesterday. Huge improvement as well since the last time they swam that in competition.
J'appelle le duo numéro 13 représentant l'Italie. Introducing duet number 13, Susanna Pedotti and Alessia Marchi from Italy.
So now the second duet from Italy, Alessia Marchi, Susanna Pedotti, both 18 years of age. And their theme, Dancing in the Rain. Bronze medalists from the Junior World Championships held in Canada last year. Good timing with the music, synchronization. Great pull coverage, good timing on this hybrid. A little bit low on the acro pair lift. Slightly different emphasis there as they go through this final free hybrid. And a well swum routine there from the Italians. As I said before, It's so great to see the focus that they're giving on the youth, the juniors, in a senior competition for Italy. The other duet from Italy currently lying in a fourth place at the moment with a score of 301.8583. If there is more than one duet for each country, they can swim, obviously, but the second duet wouldn't be included in the final ranking, so more for experience. Choreographed by Rosella Biri, coached by Beatrice Castellini. And they went very quickly into the connected action level 4. Really nice timing on this first hybrid. As they build strength, they'll be able to get more height out of the water.
Ces nageuses sont entraînées par Stéphania Perroni. Elles se sont exprimées sur une version revisitée de la chanson intitulée No Woman, No Cry, extrait musical du film Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
So the technical controllers must be analysing these scores. Sorry, this routine, not the scores. They'll be looking at it on the video, hence the delay. Yep, technical review. So anxious moments for the coach and for the swimmers whilst they await the outcome of the technical review.
Score for elements 146 from 9124. For artistic impression 84.
The total score, you can now see it.
Score 231.1624.
So that was their score, but they don't have a place because they are the second Italian duet.
Introducing duet number 14, Martin Barroso and Emma Grossegar from Switzerland.
And now the duet from Switzerland, Emma Grossegar, Margot Verresio, 10th in the technical programme yesterday. The theme of their routine is Weirdos. Music from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Danny Elfman. Oh, a lot of height on the lift. very quickly in and out of the connected move. Some nice angle work. Focusing on the synchronization as they build up to the end when they will be tired. Some complex angles. So an enjoyable performance. They're really trying hard to go for the difficulty.
Ce duo vous a été présenté par Emma Grosvenor et Margot Varizio, représentant la Suisse.
Choosing an unusual start in the water from the Swiss duet. Very high there on that acro lift. Travel in that first hybrid to add to the difficulty. That was their most difficult hybrid at 5.10 before they moved into the second of the feet first throws. They find the music very inspiring and working hard towards Olympic Games qualification, hopefully. Just missed out on the finals at the World Championships last year, coached by Tanya Radkowska, who also did the choreography along with Gemma Manguel from Spain. Good to see Gemma Manguel still involved in the sport and helping other countries along with her own country of Spain. Very inspirational swimmer. European, World, Olympic medals. So a seventh place, 262.8292. Degree difficulty 25.10. So they look very delighted with that score. Well done, Switzerland.
Introducing duet number 15, Blanka Babos and Angelika Bastianelli from Hungary.
The duet from Hungary, number 15 to swim, Blanka Babos and Angelika Bastianelli. A very young duet, 15, 14 years of age. Will be 15 and 16 this year. So the youngest duet in this, and their interpretation of jungle life. Listen for the different sound effects of the animals. Just managed to get underneath her just in time to lift. Lovely interpretation. Good musicality. And being swum really well, particularly when you take into account their age. You can see the coach watching in the background. I think it's harder for them sometimes. There's nothing they can do to help their athletes now. Their timing with the music is really good. Oh, what a shame. Swimming a little bit closer together there, but a really nice routine, and overall well swum, particularly when you take into account their age, so much younger than a lot of the other competitors, and really doing a good job here in Montpellier. They did swim in Canada a few weeks ago at the first World Cup. They finished 7th there with a score of 211.633. They had a difficulty of 20.3 on that occasion. So a technical review. These technical reviews, you would like to think they would be sometimes for the more inexperienced swimmers, but actually they're not. The experienced swimmers are also having to find themselves under technical review as well. And that's because all of these rules are pretty new to everybody. So ninth place, 203.0333, placing them just behind the Czech Republic, ahead of Colombia.
Introducing duet number 16, Kira Uberts and Micaela Morales-Segura from Aruba.
The 16th duet from Aruba, Kira Herberts, Micaela Morales-Segura. They've chosen a rap piece, Rap God by Eminem. Apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently it's got the highest record of number of words per second. So they thought it would challenge the choreography. I'm sure it will. They're going to go straight into 2 acro moves.
Look, I was going to go easy on you about 100 meters. I'm already sure to get this on your chance. Just my feeling.
2 acros, 1.6 each. Complex angles in the hybrids. The thrust level 9, the highest level. Slightly out on the timing afterwards. Flexibility level 6, flexibility of the back. Repetition of the flexibility level 6 move. The music is very fast. I feel like I'd like to see them swimming faster to it. They're getting the speed into the hybrids. It's more on the arms for me. Well, I can now see why that rap holds the highest record of number for the words per second, and it certainly would challenge any choreography. They seem to get the timing really well with the rap on some of the hybrids, but I felt that the arms needed more in them to really show the musicality at its best. very, very difficult choice of music, I have to say, with that rap, but individual choice. They've qualified for the Central American and Caribbean Games in San Salvador, which is taking place in June. This is the new routine. They've only been together since around about September last year, when their coach Ila Brandimart arrived. She's doing a really good job with all of the routines. I've been impressed with the choreography for the Aruba teams. I just felt that one needed a slightly different approach maybe on the arms, but it's maybe a little bit subjective when it comes to the artistic side, even if the difficulty isn't. So their score in Canada the other week was 202.0791 when they finished 8th. They are fabulous underwater shots, aren't they? There was some good originality in the performance. And difficulty with the highest levels on thrusts on a couple of the hybrids, along with highest level on flexibility on a couple of them as well. Also went for the bonus elements of having complex angles on 3 of the hybrids and simple angles and placement on the last one. So more discussions taking place with the technical controllers. They must be feeling as exhausted as these athletes. So currently lying first, we have the duet from Ukraine. Second, Japan. Third, Great Britain. Fourth, Italy. Fifth, Israel. Sixth, Netherlands. Seventh, Switzerland. Eighth, Czech Republic. Ninth, Colombia. 10th, Uzbekistan. 11th, Liechtenstein. 12th, Canada. 13th, Belgium.
Score for elements 83.6626. Artistic impression 74.4.
And that puts them into 13th place. You can see they've got a penalty there. So there must have been something wrong with the time of the routine or the timing of the walk-on or something. I'm afraid I haven't got access to that information, so I can't tell you. But it would be something like that anyway. Now the second duet from Belgium, Silke Holvert and Kato Vernacker. 17 years of age. They've gone for different types of melodies and have chosen music from Vivaldi and the piano guys. This is their most complex hybrid. good execution until that last little section. Need to be careful of the levels that they start dropping at the same time on the spin. Good artistry. The duet from Belgium, coached by Annabelle Gakire. It's a new routine for them, but they've been together since they're under 12, so 5 years now, just 17 years of age now. Music choice is entirely up to the coaches and the athletes. And it's got to be something to really motivate them, because you spend so long working with the routines. This was a really nice start and very quickly into it as well.
Presented by Synchronized from Belgium.
Nice body position underneath, but a few times just not holding that line above the surface of the water. Six duets to go. And seems to be a delay again with the technical, but here they come.
67.5. Looking for 166.125.
So 166.1250, 13th place for the duet from Belgium.
Number 18, Kanyanat Karazit and Getsarin Salangaron from Thailand.
Duet number 18 from Thailand, Kanyanat Karazit, Getsarin Sawangarom, 16 years of age. And this is Lady Gaga and Mashup. competing in the elite for the first time.
I met a girl in Soleil, in floral shorts as sweet as May. She sang dancing to buy chords. We fell in love, but not in
To get the high scores, they'll be working on more height in the future. I really like their presentation. Good timing. Oh dear. Completely fell off that. Did slightly different movements as well. So that would probably be considered a major error. Well, apart from the obvious errors, I enjoyed the routine. I thought the music was well suited to them. I mean, to compete in elite for the first time at senior level at the age of 16 is something quite special. But there will be another review. A little fun fact about them, their coach calls them pigeons, as their eyes sometimes look rather empty when she tries to explain things. Coached by Claudia and Massimo Tapparelli.
There was a technical problem with the computers for this duet, so we will have to wait, and the score will be given after one or two routines.
I assume you heard that, but there is a technical problem with the scoring system. So the scores for Thailand will be given after the next routines, rather than holding everybody up. So apologies for the delay. I think they're trying to sort out the issue with the scoring system, and hopefully we will be able to continue with the competition very shortly. Very difficult for the athletes that are waiting to come on next. I'm sure their coaches will be chatting to them and keeping them well prepared for their swim, and most importantly warm.
Allez, évidemment, pour celles et ceux qui n'ont pas la chance d'être avec nous dans cette piscine Angelotti, vous pouvez nous suivre sur la chaîne officielle de la Fédération française de natation, ffnatation.tv, également sur la chaîne officielle World Aquatic, le YouTube, et 2 chaînes de télévision, via Occitanie et Sport en France.
J'appelle le duo numéro 19 représentant le Kazakhstan. Introducing duet number 19, Arina Pushkina and Yasmin Tuyukova from Kazakhstan.
So we move on now with duet number 19 from Kazakhstan. Yasmin Tuyukova, Zanya Ziengaza, 9th in the technical routine. Again, another very young duet, both at 16 years of age. This is their interpretation of Wind of Asia for Asian culture. Very quickly into the first acro move. Speed of movement. This is a T9. I think there might be a review of that, because you have to get high on the thrust and then hold it above the knees. straight in line with the panel of judges you see in the background. They build up for the end. Oh, some errors coming into that last hybrid. Just got slightly ahead of themselves there. It was supposed to have travel in it for bonus, so I'd need to relook at it, I think, to see whether it did. But some good angles. They're preparing for the Asian Games that are coming up in China. They'll be around August time. Coached by Zana Demchenko. Came 12th in the World Cup in Canada a few weeks ago. Their score then 154.7958. At that time they did have a lot of synchronization errors, though. A score of deduction of 9, should I say, which was the highest. So overall, I think they have been working on that synchronization, but I think work in progress.
We will give you the score for the previous duet from Thailand in element 64.8, in artistic impression 65.9625, and routine score 130.7625.
So 130.765 was the score for the duet before from Thailand. If you remember, there was difficulty with the scoring system and issues, so well done to them.
J'appelle le duo numéro 20 représentant la République tchèque. Introducing duet number 20, Nikolai Luakova and Deborah Drakova from Czech Republic.
So we move into the final few routines, just 4 to go. This is the duet from the Czech Republic. Deborah Jurakova, Nicole Jurakova. Nicely into the first acro move. Nice interpretation. Oh, and they have got lost underneath the water and the directions that they are facing. It is very difficult in this pool because it's all the same depth, so very hard to see where you are. Nice timing on that hybrid. And a good swim there from the duet from the Czech Republic, 20 and 22 years of age. They've had a long wait, haven't they, before they swam. Just 3 more to swim. And then later on today we will have the mixed technical team. And that will be starting at 7:30 CET. Unusual start to the routine on the deck work.
We will give you the score for the previous duet.
So now the score for Kazakhstan will be coming up, or we'll be able to hear it.
The duet from Kazakhstan got a score for elements of 131.5917, for artistic impression 83.75, and total score of 207.9417.
So that was the score for Kazakhstan, and my apologies for the problem that they have had with the scoring system. So that was a score of 207.94. So just 3 more duets to swim in this duet free competition. It's been quite a long event, so many entries, but that's just fantastic to see that it's been so well supported. I think when the entry list came out, everybody was amazed at just how many people and how many countries are competing here and trying out their new routines with the new rules. But as you can see, the training still goes on for those that aren't competing this afternoon in preparation for tomorrow and for the technical team later today. such a long wait for them. I'm sure all they want to do is go away, warm down after the performance, get the gelatine out of the hair. Here we go. So the Czech Republic, total score of 190.7222, a penalty of 1 point, which is probably due to the length of the routine, not adhering to it, or maybe the length of the deck work. I'm not sure, but that's normally a timing issue if it's a 1 point penalty.
J'appelle le duo numéro 21 représentant la Thaïlande. Introducing duet number 21, Pong Ping Pong Pongsuwan and Supichaya Songpan from Thailand.
So the duet, the second duet from Thailand, Pong Ping Pong Pongsuwan, Supichaya Songpan, 21 and 20 years of age respectively. This is their rock and roll, keep on dancing. They wanted it to be fast and fun, and they want a positive response. Good travel, getting those bonus points, really nice timing. Good speed on the rotations. Ideally could do with a bit more height on some of these hybrids, but the travel is strong. Good original choreography. Slight difference in the synchronization. Very lively and strong music for them. And a slight error right at the very end on the synchronization. Gosh, that was a very fast routine all the way through with the music. I felt on the second half of the routine, some of the movements needed to be a little bit livelier, more in the arms, more so than the hybrids themselves, which I thought the choreography of the hybrids was really very good with the music. But very difficult to keep up that level right the way through without any sort of contrast in the music for these swimmers to not have a rest, because at no point would you have a rest during an artistic swimming routine, but at least it would sort of break the routine up a little bit. But they love the music, it's their choice. I really liked it, and I'm sure they'll continue to develop the choreography to it. It's the second time that they have swum that routine apparently, but I would imagine the first time internationally. They'll continue to work with their coaches Claudia and Massimo Tapparelli.
Ce ballet fait l'objet d'une vérification vidéo. Nous vous demandons quelques instants avant l'annonce des scores. Supichaga et Pompicorn sont entraînés par Claudia et Massimo Tapparelli.
This is quite original choreography, using the flat feet as well to lift the artistry scores. Just on the knees, on the holds, on the verticals, so that would be around about a 5 on the definition of height. So as I was saying, later we have the technical team. That's going to be at 19:30 CET this evening. And then tomorrow we'll be starting at 10:30 CET with the free team, followed by mixed to free duet and the acrobatic team. And then in the evening, the gala, before everybody can rest and relax a little bit after a huge amount of hard work over the 3 days at this World Cup. I think there's been quite a few reviews recently, because the last few routines have been not quite as experienced as some of the others.
Question 71.95. Routine score 168.2292.
So 13th place, 168.2292 for the duet from Thailand.
Représentant le Portugal. Introducing duet number 22, Maria da Silva Jorge Gonzalez and Sheila Moraes Sierra
A
from
chance
Portugal.
to see the duet from Portugal now. Maria da Silva Jorge Gonzalez and Sheila Moraes Vieira, 24 and 23 years of age. Currently ranked 9th in Europe, 16th in the world. This is their Flames of Fire. Straight into a foot first acrobatic move. And now into their most difficult free hybrid, catching it well after the thrust. Careful on the timing. They're very precise on a lot of these moves, which is good. well synchronized on the angles. Excellent. Good musicality. Some complex angles and travel. Nice hold after the rotation. And a very difficult free hybrid to finish. The maximum number of movements and time underwater of 4.1. Really nice duet there from Portugal. Coached by Silvia Hernandez and Olga Filipchuk. Helped with the choreography. I think they're improving all the time. I really enjoy watching them. Very difficult to come out and perform like that after such a long wait. So many duets in this World Cup final. That was really good. Head right out of the water. Good presentation from both of them. Nice hold there. All of these athletes know exactly what they need to work on now to get the maximum for them on the difficulty, bearing in mind that the execution has got to be good to go with it. They can't afford to pack in too much difficulty and then fall off the execution. So 11th place, 198.387, 5. Degree difficulty 16.95.
J'appelle le duo numéro 23 représentant la République de Corée. Introducing duet number 23, Yoon Seo-Kur and Lee Yoon-Lee from Republic of Korea.
The final duet is left to the duet from the Republic of Korea. Lee Vi-young, Her Yun-soo, 17 and 22 years of age. Their theme is flying birds. Very nicely executed first static lift. Good timing. Traveling to get the bonus. I'd like to see a little bit more height, but certainly packed full of content. Very sharp movements. Beautiful contrast in this performance. Again, going for plenty of rotations. So much difficulty. Wow. Good routine there from the Republic of Korea. I like the construction of the routine. It was very dynamic, powerful, strong. A few small errors in it when it came to the synchronization. But overall, very, very precise with the movements. If they want a podium place, the score they will need to beat is 324.3958. But what an exceptional competition it's been. I love the start here. Wonderful. And different to the other acro moves that we have seen throughout this competition. They're very well suited. They complement each other perfectly. They're aiming for a medal at the Asian Games later this year. Got a bronze last year, the first leg of the World Series, now renamed as World Cup. You could see there just a few errors coming into the timing and also the execution. Currently ranked 15th in the world. So that was the coach they were announcing there, Oksana Pismena and Kim Humi. Choreography is by Oksana. And very nice choreography it was too. Very impressed with the duet. So a few more discussions going on to see whether they can get the full allowance for the difficulty and see what deductions need to be made on the synchronization. But looks like it's all sorted, so the scores will be with us shortly. And then we will be going to the medal ceremony. They were finished 5th, 7th here, but 5th in Markham a few weeks ago. 266.5958. A higher score than they got in Markham. They scored 247.99 there. So continuous improvement. So that brings the solo, keep saying solo, it's been a long time, the duet technical to a close. So the duet free to a close. I will get it right in the end. And we're now going to go to the medalists and the podium places very shortly. So please do stay with us.
Allez, évidemment, pour celles et ceux qui souhaiteraient nous retrouver, qui devraient partir et qui souhaiteraient nous retrouver un petit peu avant 19h ce soir, et dans quelques instants, la cérémonie protocolaire à suivre. Également, on vous rappelle que l'ensemble de la compétition a été retransmis en direct et est retransmis en direct sur la chaîne de la Fédération française de natation, ffnatation.tv, également sur la chaîne YouTube de World Aquatics, le YouTube World Aquatics, et sur deux chaînes, une chaîne locale via Occitanie et une chaîne nationale Sport en France qui nous accompagne sur ce direct TV avec aux commentaires Virginie Ledieu et Olivier Ligné qui nous font leur honneur d'être présents sur cette deuxième étape de Coupe du Monde. Effectivement, messieurs, dames, sur l'écran géant, les vidéos de nos différents partenaires. La vidéo aquatique, messieurs, dames. À suivre, la vidéo de notre partenaire beauté Make Up Forever. À suivre, notre partenaire EDF, partenaire officiel de la Fédération française de natation depuis près de 20 ans, et partenaire des Jeux de Paris 2024.
So good to see these highlights from the top 3 routines. Ukraine taking the gold with this exceptional routine.
La société Montpellier, messieurs, dames.
Japan, the silver, and Great Britain, the bronze. Some incredible scores from all 3.
Et une fois de plus, nous aimerions encore remercier la métropole de Montpellier, la ville de Montpellier, la Ligue d'Occitanie de natation et la région d'Occitanie. Messieurs, dames, applaudissements s'il vous plaît. Allez, dans quelques instants à suivre la cérémonie protocolaire qui est en train dont la mise en place est en train d'être finalisée. Dans quelques instants, messieurs, dames, ce sera la cérémonie protocolaire.
Veuillez accueillir, s'il vous plaît, la cérémonie protocolaire pour l'épreuve de duo libre femmes. Please welcome to the medal ceremony for the Women Duet. Les médailles et les cadeaux seront remis par Monsieur Bernard Darmon, trésorier de la Fédération française de natation, accompagné de Madame Émilie Cabello, maire adjointe à l'accessibilité universelle de la ville de Montpellier, et Monsieur Richard Maillet, président du comité régional olympique et sportif de l'Occitanie.
The medals and gifts will be presented by Bernard Darmon, treasurer of the French Swimming Federation, accompanied by Émilie Cabello, deputy mayor of the city of Montpellier in charge of universal accessibility, and Richard Maillet, president of the Olympic Regional Committee.
Troisième, les médailles de bronze.
Winner of the bronze medal representing Great Britain, Isabel Thorpe and Kate Shortman.
So congratulations to Kate Shortman, Isabel Thorpe, taking the bronze medal with a score of 324.3958.
Deuxième, les médailles d'argent.
Winner of the silver medal representing Japan, Mashiro Yasunaga and Moe Higa.
The silver medal to Mohiga and Mashiro Yasanga, 334.0125.
Médaille d'or. Les vainqueurs de cette épreuve.
Winner of the gold medal representing Ukraine, Vladislava and Marina Alexieva.
And the Alexieva twins, Marina, Vladislava, taking the gold, 370.2791.
Les cadeaux sont offerts par nos partenaires Make Up Forever et Turbo. Les fleurs sont offertes par Montpellier Méditerranée Métropole. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous lever pour l'hymne national de l'Ukraine.
Now please stand up for the national anthem of Ukraine.
Many congratulations to all of the medalists. Japanese duet swam first, the British duet swam second. They've had a long wait to collect their medals, watching all of the other routines. But what an afternoon it's been. I hope you have enjoyed it as well.
7:30 p.m.
We will be back with the technical team at 7:30 Central European time. So please join us then for what will be an incredible and exciting competition.
L'épreuve des équipes. En attendant, si vous souhaitez faire un petit tour sur
acrobatic moves we see at all levels. Good timing. Absolutely superb. And amazing flexibility, great balance. Incredible right at the end there. Lovely pictures of slow motion here.